Hey YouTube, I'm here tonight with Brian Langley, Morgan County Executive. Before Brian became the Morgan County Executive, he was the sports editor at Morgan County News, and he had his own newspaper, the Morgan County Today. It's obvious to me, and I think a lot of people, that you love Morgan County, and I think that the love probably it grew from covering sports somehow. Talk about how that may have affected your decision to run, or just how you feel about this county.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. I really do love Morgan County, and I started out in 1992. I was in between jobs and started part-time newspaper at the Morgan County Times. It's been a long time ago, and got my feet wet, and one thing led to another, and newspaper business got in my blood, and I've enjoyed my career in the newspaper business, and made a lot of great friends over the years, and got to see a lot of great players develop over the years, and some great teams, and just a lot of great memories. And it's eventually it led to about a little over a year ago. I was at a crossroads. What I want to do with my life, and I just felt like there was an opportunity for me to do something different. And I made a bid to run for county executive, and I thought, I knew after I started doing some praying about it, I felt like that's really what God wanted me to do, and it's worked out, and we're trying to work hard. And I feel like that my job in the newspaper business prepared me for this job as county executive, just the people skills and being able to build those relationships, and just working hard, and deadlines, and just making sure that we're trying to do everything we can to make things better. And it's worked out.
That's great. Well, as your time as a sports editor, you've seen the district change a lot. We went through the years of Greg's being in the district, and then there were several years, or Grace was actually in the region, but in our region and district, Wartburg and Harriman, kind of ruled Rockwood, and that's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I can go back a little further before that. You've got back in the 90s when I came on. You had Powell Valley in there in the district, and they really had a phenomenal team there, I guess, probably around 93, 94, 95, and they were fun to watch, and one of the better teams I remember seeing. And then at that time, Oneida was really strong in basketball. They had, with Rusty Yaden and Rodney Del West and those guys, they were fun to watch. And you've seen it develop, and at that time, Oakdale had a good basketball program, and they turned on lean years, and they've been able to turn it around here the last few years. Travis is doing a great job, but yeah, it's been fun because you see some of those that back 25 years ago, different teams that had their turns being on top, and like you said, there for a stretch, it was Wartburg and Hammer and some great battles. Yeah. And there's been a lot of great rivalries over the years.
Talking about Rusty Yaden, there's a lot of guys, and me and Goose, one of the other episodes, we hit on this, and we're kind of getting off the subject, but there's a lot of people that play basketball in this area that are coaching, Joe Lane, Rusty, Nelson, it just, I think there's something about the area and something about our brand of basketball that just instills something in these guys, and the love for the community to want to come back and coach it. A high school bunch of kids.
Yeah, I don't want to correct myself. I think I said Rusty Yaden. It was Troy Yaden. His younger brother played at Oneida.
Right.
Rusty actually played at Scott High, and he
was phenomenal.
He was a 3,000 point scorer, and actually went on to play at Carson Newman baseball, and could play basketball too. But he's
doing a pretty good job with them girls.
He is. He's put Sunbright on the map last couple of years, and they've had some good teams over the years too. But he's really. He's one of those guys that he puts his heart and soul in it. He demands a lot, and he's an old school type coach, and he does a good job. And
I think a lot of people have come to realize that they may have misunderstood Rusty. Because he kind of got a bad rap here and there, and for him to step in after coaching boys, and do this good a job with the girls, and I think the people in Sunbright are just absolutely in love with him.
Yeah, he does a great job, and he's hardcore, and you can't deny he's committed to that program. He puts so much time and effort into it, and look where they're at now. They're competing for district championships.
That does do. Good coaching, time and effort. That really that does affect the play on the product on the floor.
And I'll expand on that a little bit. You talked about some of these guys that's played basketball and is now kind of giving back to their communities. Joe Lane, a guy that was, who played down in Rockwood, and now he's one of the
he's the older statesman.
Yeah, he is, and then he's Coach K. He played for Coach K. And Coach K's at the end of his line, and Joe's really, he's been in it now 18 years.
Has he been in
it? And it's crazy to think about, because I remember when he first came into Wartburg, and he got guys excited, and he energized that program, and really, he's just been consistent. He's been Mr. Consistent for Wartburg.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't think they were going to be as big a threat as I think they are in the district after playing him the other night. I mean, he's got some kids out there that's just getting after it. They give Oakdale more than they wanted. Of course, everybody knows the result of that game. But Joe's a really good coach, and he gets a lot out of his kids. But one thing that amazes me is he runs a complete different system than Coach K as far as what they, but it suits Wartburg. And I think Coach K's system has always suited Rockwood. It gets the kids out of the halls, and Coach K's always got most of the football team on his squad, and baseball players, they just do it all in Rockwood, it seems like.
They do, and that's pretty neat. You see these different coaches put their systems in place, and for the most part, they're going to run their same things. Now, you do have some coaches that will adjust to their personnel, and that's, I can see both sides of that. And Joe Lane, he's going to get after you for the whole game, 32 minutes. They're going to play you full court pressure, and they're going to run, and they're going to try to force turnovers. And they're going to try to speed you up, and they're going to eventually going to try to wear you down, and where you're, the second half, you're going to be wore down a little bit.
Landscape. It's 865-389-1500. We can take care of any of your needs, outdoor needs, patios, walkways, plants, trees, shrubs, sod, mulching, irrigation. We pretty much do it all. We serve Rome County, Borden County, and we'll get up to Oneida and Sunbright, just wherever we need to go. So give us a shout. But Brian, let's talk a little bit about some past players, because I don't think people realize there has been some guys come through this area that can play basketball. There's been numerous teams make it to the state tournament previous to the last couple of years, and Harriman won it. Oakdale made it last year, and Harriman's been a threat for a lot of years, and they've had, that team had some real nice players, but they've had some guys that, like Xavier Howard, and there's been some dudes come through Oakdale and Wartburg, the Vespi boys. There was how many of them that come through?
There was 4 total. You had David was the oldest. I think he came his junior year, and he ended up being an all-state player his senior. I think it was maybe 97. He was fun to watch. A guy that didn't have the most athletic ability, but he had just that tenacious attitude you want. He was a competitor, could shoot the lights out. And he got on a roll. He was hard to stop. And that was at that time when Wartburg was competing at the AA level. And he lit some teams up like Fulton and Austin East during that time. He was a standout during amongst some great teams up there. So and then below him you had Paul Vespi come on behind him, and he was a standout player that could really play. And then Jonathan Vespi and then the youngest Adam Vespi, they were all just really good ball players. And it's hard to imagine 4 brothers like that. And then but further you got Alex Fountain and Dylan Fountain, and that's a heck of a duo right there for brothers. So there's been some good brother combos at Wartburg.
There's one thing about it in Morton County, it's a family thing. In Oakdale, the Smiths, I think when Oakdale won the district the first time in several years, it was kind of neat because Stanley was on a team that had won it. Was the last team in Oakdale to win it, I think, and that team there, it had a Barber kid on it that's dad played here. There's a couple more.
Miller, probably Dougie Miller with Garrett.
Yep. And I think there's even one more, that I'm not being.
And that's what you'll run into at these small schools, the Oakdales and Cofields, Sunbrights, Wartburgs. It's usually there's a family, there's some history there. Usually you've got a dad or a grandpa that played, and usually on down the road, these guys are just as good or better, and they live up to their names, and it's been fun to watch.
That's kind of neat because I've never had the opportunity to coach a father and a son, but I've actually coached against kids that have played for me, and that's kind of neat, So it's but let's talk a little bit about the Grace years. I mean, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but and let's not even say Grace, but just, the private schools that have come through and played in this region, and we don't want to take anything away from them, but I just think it's so much better now that we don't have to compete with what they can buy, and it just everybody's going to get their turn, so to speak,
Yeah, I mean, Grace, for instance, they brought some really great players in there, had some really talented teams, but at the end of the day, most people knew how they were getting those players, and it was bound to be that was the case. But now there's a level playing field. Now everybody's got an equal opportunity to go out and work hard and have a chance and make a run state tournament like Oakdale did last year, and Harriman won it the year before that, and Wartburg's made some runs in the state tournament. So it comes around, and that's the exciting thing about basketball. It's a tournament sport.
Yeah.
And some of these teams, you see them get on the road. I remember Sunbright back probably around 2000, 2001. They got on the road to tournament time, and they made the sub-state. And at that time, I guess it was the sectionals. And I don't even know if they had a winning record going in the tournaments, but they got hot at the right time and made a good run. And that's what you remember. You remember those teams, what they do in tournaments.
Yeah, the tournaments especially. And I think that's I love basketball. I think everybody knows that. But just, and especially a kid in his senior year, those elimination games are really seriously, and for lack of a better word, I'm going to say emotional, because you don't want to go down. And the bad thing about it, or maybe the good thing, is at the end of the year, and Goose Lindsay says this, everybody but one team's going to be crying.
Yeah.
And that makes it special. Once you got beat, and you can look back on it like Oakdale didn't want to lose that game last year. But they can look back on that, and it was pretty special, and teams that's won district tournaments. It ain't nothing easy about winning a district tournament or a region tournament, just because you don't make it to Murfreesboro. Any of those teams in the past, them some special teams.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of luck, and you got to have some skill, and you got to have some good coaching, good players, but sometimes you got to have a little bit of luck, and it might be a call or two that maybe went against you. It might be a sprained ankle here or there. You just you got to have that luck when it gets tournament time. You got to make your breaks.
Yeah, that's quite true. That's quite true. Starting out this year, it looks like Sunbright's going to be much improved. I hear Oneida has got a really good team. Haven't got a chance to watch them. Rockwood's going to be Rockwood. If they're not up there at the upper half of the district, you don't want to play them come tournament time. Harriman's got a really good team. We could be playing better, and hopefully we'll do what you're talking about and, put it together by the end of the season. But, have you I know you've been really busy this year.
I have, and I'll be honest with you, I hadn't saw the first game yet, but I'm planning on getting out there. Now, I do talk to the coaches, and I know what's going on. I keep up with it, but I haven't had an opportunity, but I will, and I'm excited. I think from what I can gather and talking to different people, I think this might be as balanced a district that's been in quite a long time. I don't think there's just that dominant team, or usually you've got one or two teams that separates themselves. Right now, I think everybody's kind of jockeying for position. I think it's going to be one of those deals. If you can stay healthy and have a good seed going in the tournament, you've got a good chance to make a run, and that'll be really good tournaments this year.
Yeah, that's the key there. Get a good seed going into that tournament. I wish they'd do away with them satellite games, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, I'm like you. I really enjoyed it when you could go to one place and watch all those games, and it might have been a little bit inconvenient, but
it takes something away from one of the last times they done that, I went to a Rockwood. Well, I went to Rockwood for a district tournament game. I can't remember what it was, or who was playing who, but there was a couple little old ladies that were sitting up there, and they come to watch all of the basketball games. Now, them kind of folks you can't get to every game, but because they're all played at the same time, they've took that away from them folks, and I just think that's an injustice. I think that, it's in the atmosphere for the kids that maybe don't make it past that first round to get to play in that tournament. Because I had one son that never got to play in Wartburg. I think that's just terrible, because that's an experience that's hard to equal. To play in a district tournament atmosphere.
And I'm the type back, when I was watching these tournaments from start to finish, it was really fun to go to, even if it was at Jellicoe or if it was at Oneida or wherever the case may be. I was going to be there, and I was going to be there if the game started at 4, I was going to be there at 2:30 ready to go, and I'll be there till 11 o'clock whenever the last game finished. And it was fun. It was fun to have everybody in the same location, and it was just a special atmosphere.
Yeah. Talking about atmosphere, me and Goose hit on this a little bit. I think our brand of basketball, and I grew up in Illinois, in this area is it's just great. We get crowds. Every night's an event, every game, and especially if it's a district game, people they're showing up, they're cheering these kids on, they're just, it's a great atmosphere. Every now and then, when there might be a blowout, the atmosphere's not as good, but you go to Knoxville and people that don't go up there and watch basketball games may not believe me, but they don't fill the gyms up like we do. And most of them gyms ain't much bigger than ours.
No, people can say what they want to, but around here in this district, we've got really great fans, and they're going to pack these gyms out most nights.
Yeah,
especially for these district games, these big rivalry games. People are going to come out and watch them.
I'm trying to think who we may have left out. It's Midway,
Cofield, I think.
Cofield. Now, Cofield's a team that you don't want to play come tournament time. And we're Oakdale, and I'm not going to say I don't want to play them because some people say a lot of things, but I like to compete, and I loved playing when my kids played against Cofield teams because it was going to be a battle. It really was. Now, did I want to? No, I wanted to get out of there with a win somehow. But just looking back on it, it was a lot of fun. And some people don't understand that. But Cofield, like I say, they're just a team that you don't want to play come tournament time.
Yeah, they've had some last several years. Parker McKinney, I guess you could say, and before that you had Cody and Ryan Hill, and they were really kind of put Cofield on the map here the last recent years, and they had a good run last year with Parker, and they very easily could have been in the state tournament also last year, and they lost a great senior class, and I know they've had a couple of injuries that.
There's somebody going to step out of that group because
Cofield's had a lot of talent down there the last several years, and they're going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah.
So this district.
There's nobody you cannot forget about.
Oliver Springs, they're always going to have some athletes, and Oliver Springs, I'll say this is one of the toughest places to go play basketball.
That's a heck of a venue. It is a hard place to go play, and they got a young team. I got to watch them play, and I can't believe I forgot about them. But we've got some videos. Coach has sent some highlights in. He sent some videos in. They're either linked to one of the other videos that we've done, or if you want to look at them, give me a shout, comment, like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see what we can do about that. But they play hard. They've got some kids that just get after it. They're young, and I can see them really, they could make a little bit of noise.
I could say this district, I don't see anybody going undefeated in this district this year. That's just my opinion. I think somebody's going to probably have 2 or 3 losses if they're going to win this thing, and maybe more than that. You might have a log jam up top.
Yeah, and it could get down to some old coin flips, which everybody knows I don't like. I don't like flipping a coin before it happens. I'm superstitious, but YouTube, we need everybody to subscribe that we can get to subscribe. Please don't just watch it on Facebook. We can tell how many views we get, but subscribe. I said it on one of the previous videos. We're going to be giving some things away. We need to get to 100 subscribers. We've got some UT basketball tickets, and hey, UT beat the number 1 team in the nation in Gonzaga tonight, and so that I'm not sure which game those are for, but any UT game's a treat. 2 tickets. We're going to be giving some T-shirts away, so subscribe, share. And tell all your friends about us, and we're going to get some videos out there on all the teams. I think we put one out today that we've got some highlights on, but coaches, send us your highlight film, send us your game film. It's kind of hard to go through all the game film and get some highlights, and I can't really put up the whole game film on the show, but if you can break that thing down, send me some highlights, I will get those things on YouTube as quick as I can. Thanks. See you. Clayton Smith good at the free throw line. .44-41, Oakdale, 2:03 left. I'm sorry, YouTube, I don't have all these kids' names when I write it down, but as the year progresses, we're gonna get them some coverage, and we'll know their names. We'll do an all-star team at the end of the year. All district, I should say. That may have been the best shot of the year. My camera shot. Fun game to watch, folks. 47-43, Oakdale. Up and down the floor it's been. Good. 43 Oakdale. Our student section's taking a break, I guess. I guess it wouldn't be a ball game without a little controversy from the officiating crew. We've got to find something else to video with because we are out of time on this phone. We're going to get the final 2 minutes of this, and I got a feeling it's going to be an exciting 66-62 Oakdale. Oakdale went in a little stall offense a few minutes ago, and to be truthful, the lead has gotten shorter. Cleaning up the floor. I got to be honest, aside from the technicals, I thought this was a pretty clean game. Officiating not bad at all. It's a hard job to do. They faked me out. No matter with the basketball, trying to get a good shot. Turned it over. Minute 30 left. Let's go! Brett Nelson, he pulls it back out. Oakdale's going to close this thing out if they can. Timeout, Oakdale. Minute 19 left, 66-62 Oakdale. Garrett Best at the free throw line. He sinks it. Eli in for Dawson. Working the basketball, trying to get a good look. Free ball, no good. They get the rebound. Another missed three. We turned it over. Still plenty of time left in this thing. Oakdale has to rebound in this situation. Has to rebound. Here at Oakdale, we don't have a bunch of students. So you see some younger kids over there getting into the game. A little stomp in the bleachers action. Not a pressing. Dawson Smith across the timeline. Okay. Oakdale going to try and close it out. Garrett Best at the free throw line. 26.9 seconds left. 67-62. Shooting two. I'm going to tell you what, Oneida came down here and played a whale of a ball game. It's going to be a tough trip up there, I'll guarantee it. A little conversation. Missed it. Garrett up there with one more. (68-62) Oakdale. 10 seconds left. 8.7. Not a lot of time, but I've seen crazier things happen. That's just 2 possessions. That's not going to help their cause missing the free throw. Good shot! That's what we want. Since the second. Oakdale inbounding the ball. Called another technical. This time it's on Oneida. Clayton Smith gonna shoot him. I'm not sure what the kid done. I probably wouldn't tell you if I knew. Clayton hits the first one. Once the referee fetch the basketball. Yeah, Oneida didn't travel as well as they normally do. Maybe it's because they can listen to it on the radio, and I'm not sure, but it used to be you could watch it on TV. Same people did the TV broadcast that did the radio broadcast. Ben Garrett and his crew. This one's a final 70-63. Oakdale victorious over Oneida at home. I'm going to give back on here, maybe do an interview or two, and give you all some updates on the games around the district. Big night in the district. Big night in the district. Wartburg and Harriman, Sunbright Rockwood playing, and Coalfield and Alder Springs. Big rivalry game, so I'll give you all some updates on that.